Let's welcome in our panelists. Anthony Esposito is here, CEO and founder of Ascalon 6 Capital, and Pete Sepp, president of the National Taxpayers Union. Welcome, guys. Thanks so much for coming on. Anthony, what do you think about the prediction here by the Treasury Secretary?
Yeah, I think there's been some confusion whether it was $15 billion a day or $15 billion a week. Either way, and it's probably closer to $15 billion a week, either way, the shutdown will dig into GDP and economic growth across the board. The longer it goes, the worse that may be. Typically, it's not a substantial amount. It's 0.1% to 0.2%, somewhere in there. We don't want to lose any momentum. That may be part of the Democrat strategy in creating this shutdown and not coming to the table on the CR. However, yes, we're going to start to see some dig into GDP and productivity and growth. It's not necessary. It should be put off. It should be shut down right now. The shutdown should be shut down right now. We should just move on with the momentum that we have currently with economic growth and with reduction in spending, which is what we've been seeing.
Yeah, a lot of pushback on that. Day 17, again, the government being shut down and the implications that it comes with. I wanted to ask Pete about the numbers we're seeing, the turmoil, the uncertainty. CNN has a fear and greed index. I was just reading into that a bit, and they're at extreme fear. At least that's what they see now. What do you see? What would be driving fear in the markets right now?
I think what's driving fear in the markets is how this shutdown is going to end. If it ends with a deal with Democrats to roll back all of the progress we've made in reducing the deficit, if it means an extra $1 trillion in spending on Obamacare subsidies for the wealthy and all of the Medicaid reforms that were just signed into law to keep that system solvent, yeah, that's a great deal of fear because we're going to be going back to the bad old days. We've just been making a bit of progress in reducing the federal budget deficit. It's now creeping below by $40 billion versus last year. It's still $1.78 trillion. We have a long way to go, and Wall Street and other markets around the world are waiting to see if the U.S. is going to retrench here, go back to the big spending ways, or if they're going to move forward with more fiscal discipline.
So the Treasury Department sees it a bit differently, definitely a more optimistic outlook. To your point, Pete, we were following this, the U.S. budget deficit shrinking by $41 billion to $1.775 trillion in the 2025 fiscal year, despite a $118 billion increase in revenue from tariffs, again, according to the administration. But in addition, the department finding that for the month of September, there was a record surplus of $198 billion. It's up $118 billion, or 147% from the same month in the prior year. So, Anthony, where's the Treasury Department getting this all from? Is this truly in reaction to the tariffs and the trade deals the Trump administration was able to land?
Yeah, the tariffs are brought in almost $200 billion in additional revenue. So we are moving the deficit in the right direction. That's a huge positive. We do have a hill to climb. Our deficit to GDP right now is 6%. That is not sustainable. It's absolutely insane. That number needs to be closer to 2 to 3%. So we're moving in the right direction. There is a hill to climb. I will tell you, I have been trading capital markets for 29 years. I run Ascalon 6 here as a top-down macro strategy. The government shutdown and that fear gauge, or that fear, greed and fear statistic from CNN is absolute garbage. The market is not looking at the shutdown right now at all. Any volatility, any movements we see have very little to nothing to do with this government shutdown. So any fear-mongering you hear from an outlet like CNN as far as market commentary, I would put that way to the back of your mind, actually leave it on the corner and just drive away, because it has nothing to do with what's going on in the markets right now. I can guarantee you that.
All right, Anthony Esposito joining on that. Pete Sepp as well. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Thank you.